Welcome to my gyaru makeup tutorial. I'm going to show you how I achieve this look, which is the way I currently do my normal makeup. I just have to say that I'm not an expert in makeup at all. I'm kind of just going with what works for me, but it's best to adapt things to the materials that you have and the techniques that you like most. For this look, I use concealer, a glue stick, two different eyeshadow palettes, liquid eyeshadow, a blush palette, a contour stick, white face paint, gel eyeliner, two types of lashes, a lipstick, setting spray, and lip gloss. I think if you're just beginning, the most important elements are the concealer, some kind of contouring, which can be part of a nude eyeshadow palette, a blush, the liquid eyeshadow if you want to do the under eye thing I do, and the lashes. You can always buy more makeup later once you have a better idea of what you like and what you want to achieve. Let's get started! I use a headband to get my bangs out of my face, as most of you probably already do. And then I apply concealer to any redness or pimple on my face and I blend it out with my fingers. Next, I glue my eyebrows with a glue stick to make them nice and flat. I use several layers just to make sure they stay in place. Next, I use a brown eyeshadow to trace out my eye bags. I make a weird face that makes the eye bags more visible so I can trace under the natural line with the flat brush. I use concealer again and this time I apply it all around my eyes. I'm not very good at eyeshadow yet, but I use a round blush and a shimmery pink shade as well as a dark brown shade to do a kind of gradient on my eyelid. This always flicks some powder onto my nose, so I clean it up after with a wipe. White is a big part of gyaru makeup, and I found that using face paint works best. I apply it on my eye bags, outside of where the group will go. I find it helps the liquid eyeshadow I put on my eye bags look better, but I could technically go without it. Next, I use my NYX Wonder Stick to do my nose contour. So I sort of just trace down the sides to have a straight line and then do a sort of tree shape on each of my cheeks. Just like the concealer, I blend it out with my fingers. It's not very well blended on this video. You can see it where my nose meets my eyebrow. I use concealer to clean up the contouring. The most important spot is the nose. I really want it to look like a straight line. Then I do the eyeliner. I first do a dark line on my eyelid, making it as close to the lash line as I can. Then I do a bottom line that goes from the inner corner to around the middle of the eye. I clean it up with Q-tips and makeup remover if needed. After this, I draw a little droop on both sides, which makes my eyes larger. Since I don't use contact lenses, I keep the droop pretty small. I then make the bottom eyeliner a little bit bolder and thicker than the top one. I then put concealer all over my eyebrows. I've already bleached them so they're lighter than their natural color, but I want them to be really light so that the eyes are the boldest part of the makeup. Now we move on to the eye bags. I use white liquid eyeshadow that has glitter in it to do a very glittery eye bags like you see in a lot of gyarus who worked in adult videos. For my cheeks, I first use a very orangey red shade of eyeshadow on my big eyeshadow palette. And I put it in the center of my cheeks and really try to blend it out as best as I can. Then I use the orangest shade of my blush palette and just blend everything out with a big round blush so that my blush is really strong but doesn't just look like a big splotch of eyeshadow either. I also use my fingers a little bit. Then I use the highlighter side of my contour stick on my nose stripe and right under my eyebrows. Finally, we arrive to one of the most important but also the most difficult steps, the eyelashes. I bought my top and bottom eyelashes from AliExpress and I stacked 2 pairs of top lashes so that they would be really nice and thick. I saw the technique in a makeup tutorial by gyaru in a magazine and I find that it really helps. As far as placement goes, for the top lashes I find it easier to stick the outer corner on first so that they go down as far as I would like on my droop. I also put glue on both the lashes and my eyelids and I use tweezers to help me place the lashes exactly the way I want them. The bottom lashes are kind of the opposite of the top lashes. I find it easier to put the inner corner first because I know they're not super long anyways, so they probably won't go too far out or too far in. But it's just easier to place the inner corner first so that my real lashes don't interfere too much. I make them follow the eyeliner I drew earlier. And our final step is lip makeup. First, I put a nice little layer of concealer on my lips. Then I use pink lipstick on top of that so that the color isn't too dark. And finally, I use a mini lip gloss to make everything stay in place and to make my lips slightly shiny. And I totally forgot to set my face on camera, but this is the setting spray I use. I just do like 2 or 3 sprays and it really works well for me. And this is the final look. I'm still learning, so there's definitely elements I can still improve on. But overall, I think it's pretty good for someone who's only been doing this for a couple of months. In total, this look took me about 45 minutes to complete, but putting on the lashes takes around 15 minutes by itself. I hope this tutorial was helpful. You should totally let me know if you try it, and I hope to see you again soon!